Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk about the latest episode of Harley Quinn. It was called Another Sharkly Adventure, which I guess is a reference to an adventure that has both King Shark and Harley Quinn on it, so they call it a Sharkly Adventure, which is kind of weird because they end up not teaming up in this episode. Anyway, it starts off where Ivy is aware that Bruce has Frank, but they don't know where. So they want Selena to pretend to still be interested in Bruce, even though they broke up, so that they can grab him when she lures him out and get him to tell them where Frank is. But Ivy's going to stay behind on this one because she's unwell after diving so deeply into the green to find Frank. And this leaves Harley to have to go by herself because King Shark has to go to his father's funeral under the sea, and Clayface has to be Billy Bob Thornton at a charity event. Meanwhile, Batgirl wants to investigate a shipment of hats that are coming in for market because she thinks the neuro interface in the hat that's designed to make it so that people can use the hat as a personal assistant is there for nefarious purposes at the hands of the Mad Hatter. Batman and Nightwing are dubious, so they don't go along with it. Whilst making a disparaging remark about Bridgerton, which I thought was undeserved, complete with a dildo reference, Harley makes Catwoman promise that she'll look after Ivy while she's gone. Meanwhile, the funeral is held for King Shark's dad, and it's a bizarre as hell affair, which includes a ceremony at a shark church, complete with a shark crucifix, and King Shark allows his younger brother to take the throne, even though it's meant for him, after saying that he deserves it because he was there for their father when he needed him, even to the extent of dealing with his defecation situation, which apparently gets bad in old age, even for sharks. Immediately after which, the brother says something about the kingdom being no more in short order, which shocks King Shark. Harley takes out the person who was going to play the giant harp at the gala that she's going to find Bruce because he's going to go, they think, because he knows that Selena's been invited and will probably go. And she does this to impersonate the harpist for the purpose of getting into the gala, during which she encounters Batgirl, and they fight in the elevator shaft because while Batgirl wants to be her friend, she doesn't want her to infiltrate the gala. So they have a fight, and it was kind of hot. In the middle of it, however, they're interrupted by a bunch of guys in rabbit masks who, of course, work for Mad Hatter, who's apparently a bit of a creeper who sniffs Harley's hair and does other creepy things while he has her and Ivy tied up after his bunny masked goons bring them to him. It turns out that King Shark's brother is going to sell the Shark Kingdom to Ocean Master, who of course is Aquaman's evil brother, which King Shark does not like. When the Mad Hatter explains that he's going to menace Harley and Batgirl for messing up his plans, which were, of course, to use the hats to control people's minds so that he could use them as his personal army, she explains that she's not with Batgirl, and when he realizes that she's Harley Quinn, he lets her go, causing her to leave Batgirl behind, much to Batgirl's protestations, which she feels badly about but is in denial about, which causes her to be confronted by her inner therapist self, her original Harley and Quinzel self, in a reflection in the elevator. King Shark and his brother, meanwhile, have a fight over the fact that King Shark does not want him to sell the kingdom. Harley goes back and rescues Batgirl just before she's about to have her brain melted. And they fight the robot people together, which, again, was kind of hot, before Harley goes on to incapacitate a drunk Bruce by herself. The shark fight that's going on, which includes a reference to a particular aspect of shark physiology, and a particularly bad shark-based movie, gets massively out of control, and King Shark ends up having to kill his brother to prevent his brother from killing him. While all this has been going on, Ivy has been communing with the green or whatever, and it seems to have rejuvenated her. She just sort of zenned out and let herself connect to the green, and it seems to have cured her of whatever was bothering her before from having connected to it so deeply. Harley brings Bruce back to Catwoman's place at that point. He's in a body bag, and Catwoman departs, saying that she can't be there when he comes to. So that's where the episode ended. I thought it was pretty good. I was glad they were having, I was glad that they had Harley and Ivy actually back in it, and it wasn't just based on Joker and not having her in it at all. So that was cool. Kaylee Cuoco, of course, continues to do an excellent job. I love seeing Batgirl. I love the outfit that they're using for her. I think the way they've characterized her in this show is pretty cool. And I like that she wants to be friends with Harley. And I like that Harley actually wants to be friends with her, even though she's in denial about it. And I think they work well together. I'm wondering if it's going to complicate things vis-a-vis Harley and Ivy having a relationship. We don't know yet. I will say though that I'm glad they had Harley back in it and Ivy and everything, but I have to point out that they also spent half the episode on the King Shark thing, which was funny, but I didn't think it added to the overall show. I think if they were going to do that, they should have done it in a separate episode where Harley and Ivy go with him and they are part of the shenanigans. I don't understand why they are coming up with scenarios to depict on the show that don't involve Harley, at least, and Harley and Ivy, both if possible. So I was a little confused by that, and I'm hoping that they don't continue doing that too much. Again, they didn't involve Clayface, which bums me out because I think he's very, very funny, and I would love to have seen him have some involvement in the episode. And I just hope going forward that we're going to see more of Clayface because he's hilarious. There are only, I think, 4 episodes left, so we'll see. I'm going to get out of here for now, but I will be back, of course, with my review of the next episode once it is released. Until then, my friends, I wish you peace and long life.